So again, this is just We the People News. This is brand new off the press, alright, and I thought I'll start sharing this a little bit. Now I have not watched this video yet, but coming from this guy, which is where the storms are gathering, usually great content, okay, by Derek, okay. So I cannot win or lose, or I cannot lose with this knowledge that he actually shares also. Uh, So he gives a little knowledge while I'm researching other stuff and this, that, here, and there. So it benefits me. Okay? If it benefits me, it benefits y'all sometimes, right? Um, let me try to do a little bit of snagling around here. Alright. So just right off the top of the video here, I'm not an attorney. I'm not giving legal advice. None whatsoever. Okay? Why? Because I'm not an attorney. Anything I say do is just my opinion, you know. So let's go ahead and proceed forward. And this may be a few videos. I'm going to have to research this a little bit more. So, like I said, this is hot off the press. Okay? Let's go. Oh, by the way, this is recording his computer in an angle which makes mine also as well in an angle, okay? Let's see if I could just do a little bit more on his. There we go. Alright, let's go. Eager to see what he has to say.
Oh, yeah. It's been a little bit. I figured he'd come on here. I have been ripping apart the FDCPA along with the Federal Trade Commission and the SEC, along with statutes at large, preparing for this class. One of these days I'm just going to have to wrap it up. But just the same, nevertheless, I wanted to come on here and show you some interesting facts that you can utilize to prove that these people are engaged in identity theft. All right? And what do I mean by these people? I mean anybody utilizing your private intellectual property, your name, the social security number, the birth certificate account number, or any other number that is in connection with your estate. All right? So we're just going to give you a quick rundown here, just for shits and giggles, get you guys studying a little bit before class so we can have articulate conversations during class. Of course, that's probably the best time for learning, is when we can get together and people can start asking questions and getting their creative juices flowing in their mind, right? So let me just go ahead and show you. This is Code of Federal Regulations, right? Otherwise known or identified for all intents and purposes as CFR, all right? That's Code of Federal Regulations. And we are in section part 681, okay, in Title 16. Now, when we go through here, I just want to make sure that I'm correct. We need to be looking at, we're at, right here. So, we're going to go to identity theft, right? And when we look at identity theft, again, we're in section 16, Title 16, CFR, Part 681, and we're going to go down here and we're going to find identity theft. And when we find identity theft tells us that we need to revert to 16 CFR, Code of Federal Regulations, 603.2, identity theft. Well, isn't it a quinky dink? Right there, they go ahead and they give us this little blue indicator, which means that we can click on it and we can go and see what specifically constitutes identity theft, right? So we're going to go ahead and click on it. Oh, it's going to give me an error, but hold on. We got it. Don't worry. Let's see if I got it over here. Nope, that's another one. So we're going to go to CFR. I'm going to go to 17 because the 603.2 identity theft is going to take us to 17 CFR 248.201. All right. So now we're in 17 CFR 248.201. And as we get into Title 17, all right, we're in Title 17 now. We started out Title 16. When we looked up identity theft, it took us to Title 16, which referred us to 603.2. Because 1603.2 did not pull up on the page, it pulled up an error. But I know where Title 16 CFR 603.2 takes us to Title 17. 248.201. So with that information and knowledge, we're going to go ahead and we're going to scroll down here to what constitutes identifying identity theft. All right. Identity theft means a fraud committed or attempted using the identity information of another person without authority. All right. That is what constitutes as identity theft. I love this little word "or." I'm starting to really gravitate to these words that they're throwing in the code. Normally you don't find them at the statutes at large, but you do find them in the code. The code is not the law, ladies and gentlemen. The statutes at large are the law. However, here where it says or any, I'm really becoming fond of this. All right. So it says identity theft means a fraud committed or attempted using the identifying information of another person without authority. Now we need to find out what the identifying information is that they're speaking of. So when we go down here to section B, and it's going to tell us in 8, okay, this is 248.201, Title 17, CFR, and we're at 8. 9 tells us what identity theft is, whether it's attempted or whether it has been committed. All right, and now we need to find out what exactly constitutes the or section of this attempted using the identifying information of another person without authority. We need to find out what information constitutes using information that would lead to the claim of identity theft. Remember, all they have to do is attempt to use this shit, ladies and gentlemen, by way of wire, which is a violation of Title 18-1343. All right, any communication by way of wire is interstate commerce. That means if it's a telegram, a communication through the internet, cell phone use, landline use, does not matter. If it's a fax machine, it is all governed under the United States Postal Service. Okay? That's what they're in charge of. Communications. So as we look at 8 in Title 17 CFR subsection 248.201, identifying information means any name or number that may be used alone or in conjunction with any other information, these commas are important, pay attention, to identify a specific person. Now, what's the Fourth Amendment tell us? All right, the Fourth Amendment tells us we have the right to privacy, right? But it also further articulates that we have the right to be secure in our person, houses, papers, and effects. Person being very important. To identify a specific person, including any, all right? Name, social security number, date of birth, official state or government issued driver's license or identification number, alien registration number, government passport number, employer or taxpayer identification number, all right? What's the need to report to state the employer or taxpayer identification number if what everybody believes or purports to be true is that the social security number is a tax identifying number? It is not a tax identifying number, or they wouldn't have the need to put employer or tax identification number down here. Okay, employer or tax identification numbers are your business corporation numbers that you can get from the IRS, whether they be your EIN, your TIN number, whatever else. The Social Security number, ladies and gentlemen, is an account number, all right? This is where the source of the funds, the credits, come from. Remember, in commerce, we're dealing with credit and debt, nothing else, all right? So, employer or taxpayer identification number, meaning that you're engaged in commerce in some way, shape, or form. Unique biometric data. That means your fingerprints, your toe print, your butt print, your thumb print, your retina scans, your vein patterns, your visage, your signet and seal. Well, your signet and seal doesn't fall underneath biometric data unless you're using your thumbprint. But unique biometric data. That also means like your voice, ladies and gentlemen, the sweat that you excrete. All of this information is protected, and you have a right under the Fourth Amendment to be secure in your person, houses, papers, and effects, privacy, okay? Such as fingerprints, voice print, retina or iris images, or other unique physical representation. In the 21st century, ladies and gentlemen, with what they're doing with biometrics, should scare the shit out of you. Because you can go to a reconstructive doctor and change the way you look, but there's one thing you cannot do, and that is move your vein patterns. You can't change the palpitation of your heart. You can't change the way your valves open and close and flutter. Literally, with the technology they have today, they can tell you who you are, whether you've got a mask on, a hoodie on, a scarf on, and you're in full garb and nobody can see your face. They can still identify who you are with the technology they have just by the electrical signature from your heart, all right? And so it's telling you right here that identity theft, the information contained in identity theft, can also be your biometric data, all right? Unique electronic identification number, address or routing code, okay? Or telecommunication identifying information or access device as defined in Title 18 USC 1029E. Now, if we're not familiar with what telecommunication device is, well, it's real simple. They made it nice and easy for us. We're just going to go ahead and click on it. We're going to allow it to pull it up, and we're going to look at what they're talking about. Well, it didn't pull it up the way I thought it would. I actually went and just pulled up this code. Let me see if I got it here. Is this it? There it is. And they said we needed to go to E. So we get down here to E. It's just a roadmap, ladies and gentlemen. That's all this is dictation. It's a little roadmap. They take you all over the place, but you have to know how to read. All right, so we get to E, and it says, as used in this section, 1, the term access device. Now, if the term access device wasn't important, ladies and gentlemen, it would not be lit up blue, all right? So we need to know what an access device is, but the term access device, if we click on it now, you're going to notice that it's going to give us the same definition that's already there. Just to prove my point, I'm going to click on it anyway just to show you. The term access device means any card, plate, code, account number, electronic serial number, mobile identification number, personal identification number, or other telecommunication service, equipment, or instrument identifier, or other means of account access that can be used alone or in conjunction with another access device to obtain money, goods, services, or any other thing of value, or that can be used to initiate a transfer of funds other than a transfer originated solely by paper instrument. Very interesting that they would add this little section in here. Other than being transmitted by an original paper instrument, all right? So, when we go back here, you're going to see that this Title 18, 1029A, E, is the same definition, right? Now, I'm going to show you something. If we zip over here to Title 15 real quick, let's find out what the definition, just for shits and giggles, right? I mean, we're just in this for shits and giggles. Let's find out what the definition of a credit card is. I'm just fucking curious, all right? I've only read this a couple times. I might be sadly mistaken in my assessment. It's plausible. These things happen. So let's go disclosure. No, that's not it. Let's go back. We need the definitions. We need Alright, let's see if they got it in this one here. We're in 1691A. You don't have it here. Hold on. I know it's here. I just can't quite remember where it's at. Give me just a moment and we will find it for you. I was certain it was right here. That was garnishment. Let's go definitions here. Account is another one we're going to touch on here real shortly, but I want to pull up the specific definition for credit card. And maybe this will help you see how they are screwing you. Maybe, maybe not. That's not in that one for darn sure. It's got to be in 1671. It's got to be here. General provisions, definitions and rules. All right, we have found it. Right here, we are in 1602, definitions and rules of construction. Now remember, this is all to be liberally construed in the consumer's favor, and if you understand trust law, you will soon realize that natural person and consumer, ladies and gentlemen, natural person and consumer are the beneficiary, period. If you understand trust law, then you will understand how to convert this into trust, because that's exactly what it is. Title 15, 1601 through 1693 is one of the most equitable titles I've ever seen in my life. And to prove my point, the very first word it starts out with is fair. And the word fair is equity, all right? Credit card. The term credit card means any card, plate, coupon book, or other credit device existing. We always love this word or, all right? Other credit device existing for the purpose of obtaining what? Money, property, labor, or services on credit. Okay? So, pull out your Social Security card real quick, and what does it say? It's a Social Security card with an account number. It's a card. What does credit card mean? The term credit card means any card. Any card. Any plate. Any plate. Any coupon. Ladies and gentlemen, do you get coupons in the mail? Yes, you do. All right. Do you receive electrical statements with vouchers, coupons on them? Yes, you do. Guess what? It's a credit card. Okay? It's point blank fucking simple. It's right here. It's in their definitions. They defined it. Congress defined it. Not me. This isn't my conjectural horseshit or my belief. It is what it purports to be. Okay? I want to take you back over here again, real quick, so we can look at this, and you will see how 17 CFR, subsection 248.201, also concurs with the evaluation in Title 15 when it says identifying information means any name or number that may be used alone or in conjunction with any other information to identify a specific person, including any one name, social security number. Well, we already know that the Social Security card is a credit card, all right? It's an account where credit comes out of. How do I know this? Well, for those of you that have ever owned a business and went into maybe bankruptcy or involuntary bankruptcy, when the bankruptcy is finalized and the construct of the corporation with its TIN or its EIN, tax identification number or employer identification number, has been effectively liquidated, or a lien has attached to it and they're liquidating the corporation, do you get to use that same EIN number or TIN number when you want to restart your business? Absolutely not. Okay. But do you get to walk out of the courtroom with the same social security number every time, even in a bankruptcy? Yes, you do. Why is that? That's because that social security number is the account for which all credit comes out of. They cannot foreclose, they cannot liquidate that account, okay? However, if you're utilizing a TIN or EIN number, you will quickly find that in a bankruptcy, the EIN and the TIN number is part of the collateral that is attached to the bankruptcy, and they foreclose on that TIN or EIN number. They never foreclose on a social security account number, ladies and gentlemen, okay? That proves in and of itself that the social security number is in fact a credit account, open-ended account. There you go, brother. You nailed it. You nailed it. All right. So,
okay, this went way too long. Anyway, I don't know, y'all. You guys decide. Okay? I don't have enough wisdom to decide one way or the other. This is the information I got. You know, what would I do with it? What will you do with it? Right? Just saying. Alright, this is We the People News. Bye, y'all.